Welcome back to Gierok Farms. Today I got something a little bit different for you guys. Now recently I just fixed this four-wheeler basket that we had for quite a long time. This has been on this four-wheeler and another one that we got recently, but this is the old original. And recently I put new mesh in and put a few different supports in. The old mesh that used to be in here was really rusted out. We used to carry a lot of salt and mineral with this basket up to the pasture for the dry cows and heifers. My dad wants me to mimic a basket very similar to this. Now I feel like the troubleshooting part for me is this round corners. I feel like that might be a little hard, but I think instead I might do 45s here on the new basket. I feel like just messing around with this round stuff might be a little hard, but I think the 45s might not look too bad and still probably should be structurally sound. Let's hope, at least. So over here we got a bunch of this piping or square stock that my dad has picked up. Coming over here, finding all this mesh, looks like we're using the baler almost like a shelf. I guess this part of the baler isn't only used for a guard, but makes a nice steel shelf as well. Now, by no means am I a professional in any of this. I guess when we need something welded, I'm normally the guy that my dad comes to right now. He's just got that normal, ordinary farmer's weld. Just piles much bead on until it sticks, I guess. But I wouldn't say I'm great, but I wouldn't say I'm bad. I'm just kind of there, you know? I'm better than the average Joe Schmo, if you want to put it that way. Now to start on this new basket that I want to make, I plan on making two identical outer rings, like this here, but with the 45s on it, and then I'll base everything off of that. I think it might be a little tricky to get the 45s, but it should be way easier than those round corners at least. So I measured the sides from what I want before I start the 45, and it looks like we're gonna be at just over a foot at 13 inches. And then I will use this fancy dancy, whatever you wanna call that, to get my 45-degree angle. Now, I might not be doing this the way everybody, or the right way, but I'm doing it Mason's way. So hopefully this works out, I guess. It might not look perfect, but it'll work. I'm not gonna cut it all the way through. I'll just cut out a little chunk, just enough to bend it. And then I will use that to get my 45. Get this bad boy clamped into the vise nice and tight. Now, where the magic happens. All right. Now, remember, it's always safety first. Gotta have your PPE on, your glasses and whatnot. Remember, no sweatshirt strings sticking out. Tie that up, get a nice little bow. All right. There, I got that kind of cut out the way I wanted. We're still leaving some room on the back side. Now let's get this bent to that 45 that I want. She's still pretty hot from grinding on her. Throw this in there. Oh, it actually fits in there pretty nice. Make sure it's still square all the way around. This thing is actually pretty sweet because now I can just put a little bead in there to fill that in, grind it all off, and you can barely even tell that I really messed with it that much. Now I'm coming over here to the welder where I will clean up the metal a little bit. And remember, always cleaner the metal, better the weld. So yeah, I'll get this cleaned up a little bit, and then I'll throw that angle thing on there to make it all nice and neat, and I'll weld her up. All right. Got my angle all set up. Now I'll throw a couple beads on both sides. With metalwork, you never want to weld just one side right away. You want to put a tack on one side, a tack on the other, and then weld one side. Otherwise, it might pull one way with the heat as the metal hardens. That's something I learned in school. Figured I'd pass on. Most of you guys probably already know that, but. And we are way too hot, aren't we? Way too hot. All right. Now we still might be a little hot, but she doesn't look pretty, but now since I got it tacked up all the way around, I can finish welding. Just got it all ground up. Now off to the next measurement and next 45-degree angle, and then we should be set. Everything should cruise along from here. Now that I got the second angle done, you can kind of see where I'm coming from with this 45. Instead of having that round there, I'm gonna just make it a 45. But then I have to make an identical one after this to match the bottom one, and then everything else I feel like will just come together like, you know, cake and ice cream. You can never go wrong with some cake and ice cream. I just got done with the first frame for the four-wheeler basket. Let's see. Coming to match it up over here. It actually matches up pretty well. I got this angle over here. It actually wasn't too hard to make. The second one should come a lot simpler for me now that I got all the logistics and measurements down. Overall, it's going well so far. Once I get this bottom frame done, everything should come together pretty well. Yeah, looks like we're gonna be cruising now. So far this is going really well with the second one after I kind of figured out how to do everything. It's actually lining up surprisingly extremely well. All I have to do is cut this last chunk off and it should be almost completely identical. It's like, I'd say they're 95% perfect. Not quite 100%, but they're pretty good. Looks like Mariska's having a dream. She's flinching all over the place. Oh, wait, she just woke up. She was snoring over here though. Weren't you? Laying on the tarp. I don't know how you're sleeping through all this noise, but you are, aren't you? Just like that, we got two identical chunks. I just got done cutting the next two pieces for our basket. These two pieces of square stock will be the back of the basket for the frame. Now one of these I will have different supports going in between, as we can see on this basket with all those for the frame. The top basket, I will be done with one of those once I weld all that up. Got these two bad boys up and done. Now it's time to throw in the framing. Now this cross beam will go in here just about right there. I will have another one going across here again, and then a few in between. When it all comes together, when it's on the four-wheeler, it'll make a lot more sense for you guys. But as of right now, just stick with me. Not gonna lie, well, they're looking pretty sweet. I think I'm easily maybe $20 an hour, at least 15, let's say. They're not that bad. I don't know, I'll let you guys judge. They're not the prettiest, but they hold. All right, I'll get back to it. Just finished the bottom frame. Seemed to turn out pretty nice. Got the top one. Now I will use more of the square stock as pillars. The rest of this one on top of, or some of this. Either or. It's getting pretty late today, so I'll have to finish this another day. So I guess if I'm wearing different clothes in the next scene, or the same clothes, because you know this is my work clothes, it's gonna be a different day when I finish this. Hopefully tomorrow I can get out of other work to work on this, and hopefully I finish it then, and we can wrap up that video. But until then, I'll see you in the next scene. It is now a new day, and I got to thinking that instead of just using one or the other, why don't I use both for the pillars? I think I'm gonna use the square stock on the ends over here, and then use this other stuff all the way around. A mix of both will be pretty good while still keeping it a little lighter, which, I mean, it's pretty light as it is right now, but remember, every ounce counts. I've also brought the four-wheeler in here that I'm going to be putting this basket on. And just to show you guys how it's going to be going. There's a reason why the slit is in here, is for this bar to go in between. It's framing up on it pretty well so far. I like the looks of it. Hopefully you guys like the looks of it. Let's finish this project. I figured before I put all these support beams in between to hold up the top frame, I would throw the meshing in on the bottom. I figured it'd be a lot easier to throw it in now than later. So yeah, I'll have to cut this out to size and weld it up, throw a little chunk in here, and then we'll throw those support beams up, and it's starting to look like a basket. Got this all cut up to perfection. We'll cut up this piece, then we will weld both the mesh pieces to the bottom rack.
I'd say Mason's project's coming along really nice. Looks really good. I kind of like the 45 better than the older rack with the bent corners. I think it would have been super hard to match that. Mason's doing a pretty good job, I think. Are you gonna put a patent on it?
Yeah.
Sell it, start selling them? Four-wheeler or utility vehicle boxes, tool boxes, baskets, whatever you want to call them, and merch.
Cap racks.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
Putting it up here, it's starting to really look like something now. God, I could just bolt it down right now and call it good. If I really wanted to, I guess. Well, I got everything tacked so far. I'll finish welding this up and then I'll throw the rest of the mesh around, and that should probably conclude our basket then. Looking good, looking good. I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10, but I think she's looking fine. Putting it back on the four-wheeler again. You can kind of start seeing the vision really come true. I think it's gonna look really nice on here. And just like that, the basket's done. It only took about 20 hours and blood, sweat, and tears, you know, the whole 9 yards. I'm available for any work, $45 to $55 an hour. I'll come over there. But yeah, it's a beaut. I enjoyed the process and I'm happy the way it turned out. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Hit that little bell down below too. All right, thanks for watching.